So Maria's talk about, what was it, make sure you do things and go beyond what you think you can do, and I felt all that while I'm listening to you thinking I have to come and stand up here and say this speech. It wasn't planned at home. We didn't coordinate anything, but you're going to hear some common themes, I think. Okay, so our house that we live in was built in 1997, and until last summer, it was operating with the original 20-year-old furnace. As a precaution, I had it replaced so we wouldn't be caught without heat in the dead of winter. Now, how many of you remember the temperature last year on New Year's Day? It was 20 below New Year's Eve at night, and it didn't get above 10 below for the next couple of days. During that time, our furnace, our new furnace, wasn't able to keep the temperature in our house above 55 degrees. So I was thinking, this is not a good thing, and if this new furnace malfunctions even further, we might be dealing with broken pipes and a flooded basement, and who knows what else could happen. But do you know what I told myself? The kids don't have polio. We have a roof over our heads, clean water comes out of the faucet, and the grocery store has shelves full of food. I call this having a good attitude when hitting a bump in the road of life. One of your parents suggested this idea as part of the talk tonight. You see, to gather information for this, I emailed all of your parents, and I said, I asked for ideas, and I asked them specifically because they know you the best, they love you the most, and they know what you need to hear. And we all know that if teenagers hear something from someone other than their parents, they're far more apt to remember it. So what I'm going to say here tonight is the information is by committee. Thank you, parents, all of you who threw me some ideas. I've condensed them down to 3 main points, and they are, number 1, see the glass half full when the unexpected happens, which it will. Number 2, minimize worry and anxiety by focusing on other people. And number 3, choose wisely what you put in your brain. And because this is school, I will cite sources, and there will be a test at the end. Number 1, see the glass half full. Expect life to throw you curveballs. Expect everything to be different every day. Expect things to change, and then when they do, you're not surprised. There's only 1 ounce of milk left in the carton. Road construction slows your commute. A redesigned website or new software can slow your work. The elevator isn't working. I can't find my other shoe. I spilled coffee on my pants. This list goes on and on. I hope this doesn't happen to you, but I ran out of gas 300 miles from home a few years ago. It was an inconvenience and it cost me some money, but the kids didn't have measles, and I have a roof over my head, and I own a car that functioned, and I had a means to pay for the gas to be delivered. Or how about when you get 20 inches of snow in April and you're standing in your driveway shoveling for the 4th time in 2 weeks? Well, I don't have smallpox, and shoveling snow is a great workout since I haven't been to the gym in several years. Clean water is abundant where I live. Or how about if you're on a 14-hour airplane ride and your iPhone runs out of power? Well, you can't control what happens in your day-to-day life, but you can control how you respond to adversity. Make the choice to respond positively, and your outlook on life will follow. I want to talk a little bit about perspective, though, here. In fact, I'm going to read this verbatim so I don't screw it up. For the purposes of this talk tonight, I'm referencing everyday inconveniences, not earth-shattering tragedy. This is a simple tool for mentally handling what I call day-to-day bumps in the road, but there might actually be a time in your life when a loved one does have cancer or is in a terrible accident. I've been told that the death of a child is one of the hardest things that a human can endure. Coping with that kind of heartbreak and misfortune requires a significant support system, and today I'm talking about seeing the glass half full when you get a flat tire. The last thing I want to do here is minimize or be flippant about very serious misfortune. Over the years, lots of books have been written about keep it in perspective, or the glass is half full, or see the bright side. And good advice, the good advice offered in almost all of these books can be traced back to the Bible. So what does the Bible have to say about this? What does King David say about seeing the glass half full? We'll go to a workhorse Bible verse here. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will have no fear. He's telling us adversity is going to happen. He says, even though I walk. He does not say, oh, just in case I someday might happen to be walking along and it turns out to be the valley. He doesn't say that. He says, even though. And then he says, he uses the word through. And he's telling us our adversity has an end. He does not say, you're going to go to the valley and set up camp or build a house. He says you will go through it. We will come out the other end. In other words, adversity will happen, but it does not have to last forever. So when you find yourself in a tough spot, remember that the creator of the universe, the one who gave you life, who designed your body and your brain and gave you a soul, has promised that you will get through it. Going through life with a negative attitude can make your days feel long and burdensome and oppressive and heavy. So when the pipe on my sprinkler system breaks, I remind myself the kids don't have leprosy, summer is here, and I don't have to walk 3 miles each way to the stream to fetch water. Point number 2, minimize anxiety and worrying. Millions of dollars are spent every year by people searching for a way to overcome worry. We all have some anxiety, some a lot more than others, but do you realize that much of what we worry about will either never happen or it might happen, but you have no control over it? I wonder how I'm going to like my roommate at college. I hope I get better hours at my job this summer. My dog is getting old and we might have to put him down soon. There's a tornado coming. I hope my guy wins the next election. I wonder why I didn't get invited to that party. Anxiety causes high blood pressure. It weakens the immune system, leading to illness and disease. It can make your hair turn gray or fall out. It can lead to unhealthy habits with food, alcohol, and drugs. I wonder what the creator of all things in the universe has to say about this. Well, part of the Lord's Prayer says, give us this day our daily bread. To me, that means I don't need to worry about tomorrow, or the next day, or any time in the future. Give us this day our daily bread, the food, the things that we need. Don't confuse that with what we want. He's talking about what we need, and he's telling us to trust him to provide what we need today and not worried about tomorrow. Or if you prefer something with needing less interpretation, you could consider these words from the Apostle Paul. Do not be anxious about anything. Very simple, very straightforward, my kind of instruction. So don't be worried about a future roommate or the weather or about if the car is going to break down. If it happens, it happens. Work the problem, but don't be filled with anxiety about it. And remember, you don't have malaria. There's food in the pantry and clean water comes out of the tap. So let's regroup. What am I telling you? Number 1, have a good attitude when unexpected things happen, which they will. And number 2, stop worrying. So that sounds very simple. For some people, it's not very simple. So I've got a tool you can use to minimize anxiety. Okay, you ready? Everybody needs a tool. Here you go. Stop focusing on yourself and start focusing on other people. Go out of your way to be kind to others. Find reasons to compliment people. That's a great looking shirt. You got a great head of hair. I'm not a big fan of tattoos, but if I'm in line behind a guy who's got kind of a crazy looking tattoo on his neck, I'm going to ask him about it. Oh, what does that symbolize? And he's going to tell me because he wants to talk about it, and then I'm going to tell him it's great looking body art. That guy is proud of it. I'm going to tell him that. He's going to feel good about it. If a teacher says something in class you liked, mention it to them, but be specific. Don't just say thank you or nice job. Be specific about it. I like to, in an airport, I like to stop the janitor. And this guy never hears this, but hopefully he'll start to hear it more, and say, you know what? I appreciate what you do keeping this place clean, and I think you and your crew are really doing a nice job. They don't hear that from anybody, so it makes me feel good to say it. Homesickness is a very real source of anxiety for students during the first few months of college. When this happens, many students will A, sit in their room, wasting countless of hours on the internet, or B, start down the path of drug and alcohol to ease the pain. If you find yourself drifting down either of those paths, I want you to immediately get out of your room, Find someone who is more homesick than you. Ask the RA who it might be. But Mr. Norman, I have an exam tomorrow, so I need to go study. No. I said, take your eyes off yourself and put them on other people. But my new roommate has her boyfriend over all the time, and it's so annoying. No, I said, take your eyes off yourself and put them on other people. But I'm not going to see my dog until Thanksgiving. No, I said, take your eyes off yourself and put them on other people. But my roommate is wearing my socks. No. You need to take action. You knock on the door of someone who needs a friend and you say hi. And yes, this will feel very awkward. But you're already in an awkward new situation, so a little bit more isn't going to hurt you. And then you have an awkward conversation with that person. You say, it sounds like this. You say, hi, I'm Bob. What's your name? Oh, nice to meet you, Charlie. Where are you from? Do you have any siblings? Do you have any pets? Do you have a pet goat? A pet goat? I mean, what's with goats? Do you feed it like a dog, or do you just let it eat grass in the yard? Does a goat have a name? Does it come when it's called? Do you take it for a walk? And you ask questions. People like to talk about themselves. Be genuinely interested in them, and they will feel good. And by the way, for the rest of your lives, you're going to have to learn how to have conversations with people you don't know, so practice that skill of asking questions. You'll need it. Okay, then what? Then you say something like, hey, how about I swing by at 5:30 and we'll go grab dinner together? And you know what that person's going to say? He's going to be so flummoxed from the battering of questions, he's going to say, okay. And what did you accomplish? You made that kid feel better. You made his mother feel better, because undoubtedly she's calling every day saying, hey, did you meet a new friend today, honey? And you set an example for others around you about how to treat people. And while you were having this awkward conversation and practicing your new social skills, you've forgotten about how you were feeling. Please do this. It really does work. All right, so let's regroup again. You're going to A, have a good attitude when you encounter day-to-day bumps in the road by realizing how fortunate you really are. And 2, you're going to minimize worry and anxiety by focusing on other people rather than yourself. So, we've got time for one more. How about this? Number 3, fiercely protect what you're putting in your brain. How do I do that? Well, you stop reading so much. Stop reading. Did I hear him correctly? Yes, I said stop reading. Stop reading what? Stop reading or watching Instagram, Snapchat, fantasy football blogs, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Who cares if you have a 2-year snap streak going? It doesn't matter if you got retweeted or if your post gets 500 likes. No one in this room is surprised to hear that 92% of teens in this country go online daily, and 24% self-report that they are online almost constantly. They're on it late at night before going to sleep. They're on it in the middle of the night. If their phone chirps at them, they're on it first thing in the morning. Fatigue during the day reduces your ability to learn and work effectively. But the effects of overuse go far beyond lack of sleep. Social scientists who study this stuff are ringing the alarm bells because teens and millennials are losing the ability to relate to each other on a personal level. The physical health of a generation is declining due to lack of exercise. Social media depression, that's a real thing now. Social media depression is a thing. It's skyrocketing because users compare their inner self and their insecurities with the outward appearance that others want to project. They see the events to which they weren't invited, and they feel rejection when they get ghosted. Social media and internet addiction is very, very bad stuff. If this were a commercial for a pharmaceutical, it would sound something like this. Be advised that excessive smartphone use can result in anxiety, weight change, and a depressed or irritable mood. Change in sleep patterns can affect your ability to pay attention at your job or school. Do not operate heavy equipment, drive an automobile, ride a bicycle, walk, skip, or run while using a cell phone, as an unexpected collision could result in injury, death, near death, or embarrassment. If you have been on your phone for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical help. Seriously, it's time for some of you to make a course correction, some of you. The days are coming when you won't be living under the roofs of your parents, so taking your phone away will no longer be an option for them. And if they do stop paying for service, You can always go to Walmart and buy your own phone and data package. Suspense. Rather, this is about having some self-discipline. And I know this for sure. A decision to significantly curtail your phone use will have dramatically positive impact on your life. If you do this, you'll be protecting yourself from the pitfalls I already mentioned, and you will have a lot more time on your hands. And with that time, I would highly recommend you spend 10 minutes every day reading something from the self-help section in the library. Whoa, 10 minutes every day? Yeah, 10 minutes every day. It's okay, you can handle it. If you stop with the smartphone and start with a 10-minute reading habit, there's a very good chance you're going to be happier, healthier, wealthier, and have more friends. And remember, you're blessed to have a cell phone. You have opposing thumbs that function. There is food in your stomach and clean water in the pipes. Well, what should I read? Well, I would start with Proverbs and Dale Carnegie. Ask your parents. Based on their suggestions to me, I think you'll hear some really good stuff, such as, take the stairs, not the elevator, and park far away from the door. Look at people in the eye and have a firm handshake. Be quick to forgive. Don't assume someone has it better than you or that you are better than anyone, because we don't know the challenges of others. When you have a disagreement with others, value relationship over being right. Don't ignore the check engine light in your car. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Eat carrots, not candy. Call your mom. Don't spend money you don't have. Be humble. That is some great advice from your parents, and that brings us to the end. But every speech needs a good conclusion, right? And I was having a tough time coming up with one, so I actually Googled how to end a commencement speech for ideas. And I could say something like this. This is a trip. We have, if we're lucky, about 30,000 days to play the game of life. In fact, it's wisdom that will put all the inevitable failures and rejections and disappointments and heartbreaks into perspective. It hurts my brain to even try to understand what that means, which means I would never remember it, and I want you folks to remember what you've heard today, so we're going to have a test. So, Madison, take these, everyone take the card, it's got your name, and they should be in order, so just take the top card and pass them on. You can go ahead and look at what it says on the other side. I'm going to ask questions. When the answer to the question is what's written on your card, I want you to hold it up so the audience can see it, and then you need to say it out loud so the audience can hear you. No mumbling. If you mumble, I'm just going to make you do it again. Okay? 12 students, 12 answers. Here we go. What is better to read, Pinterest or Proverbs?
Proverbs.
Let's start. Finish this sentence. I will take my eyes off myself and put them
on other people.
Good. Fill in the blank. I should call blank regularly.
My mom.
Multiple choice. Whose advice should I take? A, King David, B, Dale Carnegie, or C, both? Finish this sentence. I'll skip the elevator and take the
Stairs.
We're getting a little quiet now, a little louder and louder. Name a disease you're thankful you don't have.
Rabies.
True or false? It feels better to earn what you have than to have it given to you.
True.
Does God promise to give us what we need or want?
Need.
Multiple choice. To get what I want, is it better to A, take a shortcut, or B, do the work necessary?
Do the work.
Finish this statement. When I speak to someone, I'll look
In their eyes.
in their eyes. Number 11, multiple choice. When I am struggling with something, should I take it to A, my Twitter followers, or B, to God?
God.
What's more important, relationship or being right?
Relationship.
It's a smart crowd we have here. Like this test, life is about choices. It's my prayer that you will all choose to count your blessings when the unexpected happens. I pray that you will minimize fear and worry and anxiety in your life by taking your eyes off yourself and putting them on other people. I pray that you'll make good choices regarding what you allow into your brains. Choose to have the discipline to put down your phone and read something that will strengthen your mind and body and soul every day. And always be thankful that you don't have scurvy. You have a roof over your heads, you have parents who love you, and you have clean water to drink. Congratulations, class of 2008.